Hey everybody, how's it going? We're here with a timeless reading. First card that we have out is Two of Swords and the Star. Nine of Wands. I'm seeing you figuring something out. I want to get a card to clarify the Two of Swords, though, to see if we can get more information. So Two of Swords is something where, as opposed to the Ace of Swords, which is like things feeling clear, you have it like being able to see the big picture, you can feel like you're having a breakthrough or an epiphany. Two of Swords is like right before that happens. So there can be something that you're trying to figure out, or something that you need to know, or something that you're trying to see or decide upon, those sorts of things, and try to get yourself into a space where it feels like there's one clear path rather than multiple things that you could even feel are sort of crossing one another right now. To have this star here, this can be about like bigger things that feel more important to you. This star can be about your destiny, it can be about your future, it can be about your hopes and your dreams. It can be about your purpose. Having Nine of Wands here can show something going on. The star can also be about healing and things like that. What you want to be doing, what you want to be focusing on. Having Nine of Wands here can feel like there is some type of challenge that's associated with like fully seeing this or fully addressing this. This can even be like, what am I supposed to be doing right now? How am I supposed to be utilizing this energy? Like, what's most in alignment for me to like my soul and my true nature here for this situation that I'm in? And then I'm also seeing Eight of Swords, which can feel like there's some type of mental pressure, which can be making things feel even more difficult, and you can feel like you're having I'm seeing High Priestess on the bottom of the deck. You can feel like you're having a hard time like tapping into the answer for yourself about this. Because this can even mean too that like maybe the answer is more clear than you're letting on, but having Eight of Swords here can be a part of you that maybe doesn't want to admit to that because it's something that you're anxious about, or something that you're worried about, or something that would feel mentally stressful for some reason, that type of thing. I'm going to clarify the Two of Swords just to see if we can get more insight about like what the topic of this is specifically. Okay. It looks like it's related to something that's been being put off, and making a decision about this is going to be helpful. But this can also be about needing to do something in a way that's practical, because I'm seeing Page of Pentacles, but also Knight of Pentacles, and this can mean that instead of like sitting around thinking about this anymore, taking action doesn't even have to be anything like a really big step. It can just be a baby step, and that is going to be helpful. This can be though, okay, why there can be resistance to addressing this is because there may be something that there's a part of you that you don't want to surrender this because there's an attachment to it. When I say an attachment, to have the Devil here can be you being connected with something externally that you feel for some reason you need and that you can't go without, and that may be why you're resisting making a choice here. I'm also seeing the Nine of Swords as well connected with the Devil, so this can be like, if I'm not attached to this thing, or if I don't have this thing anymore, if I don't have access to this thing anymore, then things are going to change, and what if I don't like the way that this changes? So there can be fears that are associated with like what would happen if you don't have this thing that you may feel like you need. Because the Devil is going to be around because it's something externally that there is a reliance on, that there's like a habit, there's a pattern, there's a thinking that you're not going to be able to like function, or that this helps you function better to have access to whatever this is, to be intertwined with whatever this is. Nine of Swords can be like a big fear about like, what if I make this choice and I'm potentially not going to be connected with this thing anymore, then what? Because like the devil can be this thing where the more you interact with it, the more you're convinced that you really need that thing. But also too, the part that's a trap about it is that it's something external. So this feels like a really psychologically motivated attachment that you have, but you could also feel like it's sort of keeping you from somewhere you're meant to be going. Because I'm seeing too the devil feel like it's sort of on the ground, and I'm seeing the star feel like something that you would potentially be transcending, but it's especially something mentally that you would be working out here. And I am getting strongly that having Two of Swords and having Nine of Swords is like, you already know what the decision is for you, but Nine of Swords can be like, I'm really scared of actually doing that, and so I'm resisting it. And that's why I don't want to make a choice. So this feels more than anything like it's been something that's been being put off. You know, you could have already made a choice about this. Nine of Swords is feeling like, I'm terrified to lose this thing with the devil. But it can be something that like doesn't necessarily feel empowering to you, but you feel attached to it. So you can know both of those things at the same time. You can be like, I don't want to need it, but I feel like I need it, like that type of thing. There can also be a fear of loss here as well. You know, because having these two cards here, right? This is a fear of losing something that's in the 3D, something external. Even if it's not something tangible, it can be like a title, it can be a reputation. Like those things can be included. Having this fear be looking at this over here, this worry or this concern, this thing that you can't get off of your mind, putting all of this weight and putting all of this value on something that you know is not even, the devil is something that's not going to last forever regardless. So it's about like putting your weight, putting the value, especially psychologically, on something that is not perennial in the first place. So it's kind of like picking a rose off of a tree, off of a rose bush, and putting like all of the value on that. But also too, at the same time, you know that it's not going to exist forever without that. Like it's going to die. That's just the natural life cycle of something. And so I'm seeing you be in a space right now where you may have attached to that rose, whatever your version of that is, and you can make a choice to shift where you're energetically like putting all of that value and focus. But there can be a part of you that's terrified of losing that. Of surrendering this. You can even be holding on to something that you can look at and be like I hate this, or I don't like this, but I still feel like I need it. Like that can definitely be something that's going on too. And I feel like that's also why the Two of Swords is here as well, is because there's like a dichotomy here with this. I'm seeing Virgo and I'm seeing Capricorn and I'm seeing Aquarius here. Rather than doing anything immediately, it feels like being in a space of reflecting on this. So I'm not seeing your guides be like, you need to take action right now. This is something that you can't wait any longer. I'm not seeing it be like that. It feels like this is a time to really look into this and reflect on it and what's going on here, because you may have not been taking the time to like fully realize this yet, and it's why something isn't completely like clear yet for you. Because I don't want to say that it's not making sense, because I am seeing things definitely make sense here, but you know when you don't fully take time to think about something, you can sort of ignore it a bit, or you can keep doing something that maybe isn't in your best interest to be doing. and sort of like shrug it off, you know? Something that would be going against what you feel like you really are meant to be doing. So you have like soul urges in a certain direction, and you could be doing things that take you away from that, but because of not really consciously realizing that that's what's happening, it can be something that just continues, but then you can feel stuck in a way. Like, why am I feeling kind of purposeless right now? Or why am I feeling like life is standing still? Like, what's going on with that? So it can be that type of thing. Or why do I feel like I'm not really growing anymore? It can be that type of thing. Having Eight of Cups feels like, having Eight of Cups be the last card, it feels like you may be getting to the point of realizing that something is not nourishing you internally. Some of you may have already realized this, but because of the attachment that you have to it, you may not have taken action on it yet because it's bringing up anxiety. Like, what am I going to do without that thing? You know, because the devil is also going to be something that like brings you comfort. It can bring you security in some way, but it's not necessarily something that's feeling empowering. And also with the devil too, you could feel like it's not like in alignment with your highest good. Like, it's not the most healthy for you to be involved in, but you can also feel like for other reasons it sort of gives you what you need. This is feeling more like psychologically than anything. Like it's giving you some type of psychological security, but you can also look at it and be like, I also know that this isn't the best thing for me, or that this isn't the healthiest situation, or that most times like I don't even want to be here, but it's again like giving me something that's rubbing me the right way psychologically. So I'm seeing the Death card on the bottom of the deck, which feels like a natural next step to things. I feel like the overall sentiment here is connected with you surrendering something that you've outgrown at this point. That like you really don't need to be connected with this thing anymore, but you can be really struggling with coming to terms with that psychologically speaking. There can also be this feeling too of like, I'm scared to admit that to myself because then I'm gonna have to do something about it, and there can be a resistance to that. So there can be a part of you that's like, am I satisfied? Am I not satisfied? Is this nourishing me? Is this not nourishing me? But I'm seeing you already know what those answers are for you. It's just about doing something that you may feel is like a lot that's being asked of you. I'm seeing the star as kind of feeling like a north node type of energy of like your destiny and your mission and your purpose and your path, and this being something that's sort of keeping you from making progress currently, and you can feel that within yourself. So that's how you'll know what this is. I also do get this feeling of whatever this thing is for you, you may look at it and like not necessarily identify with it or be like, I wish that I wasn't involved in this, but at the same time not doing anything to like disconnect or like detach yourself from it. So that's how you'll know what this is for you. There's definitely cognitive dissonance that I'm seeing here for sure, but it feels like it's coming from the part of you that there's anxiety about, if I admit this to myself, what's that then gonna mean, and what am I gonna have to do about it? So I'm seeing the challenge here be for you to spend time reflecting. That doesn't mean you need to take action about this yet. It just means that psychologically and cognitively to become as aware and awake about this as possible. And that's all that's being asked of you right now, or encouraged of you right now. But I am seeing that this is potentially going to lead to a very big shift within your life if you're willing to undergo this transition. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.